down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
Savvy investors, oh buddy, we're here with the second episode, the conclusion of the epic wholesale flip. I'm just juiced up excited just to put this mother in the book, to close this deal. Let me tell you something right now. The first thing that you need to do is go back and listen to episode 205. Mystery Man Superstar Rookie of the Year popped one of the largest wholesale deals that I have seen to date. Should have, will have, or could have yielded in the 30 G's, which what we thought. And why would you think that? Well, let me tell you what it is. The ARV on this bad boy is $385,000. Mystery Man is associate friend of mine, down and dirty, getting it done. Rookie investor working his tail off. Direct mail, found this deal, negotiated this deal all the way from $375. That's what she wanted, to $325. Brought it to me. I was like, no way, get it down to $300. Got it to $300. I'm thinking, man, $300,000. There's $85,000 equity in this deal. This is that we can wholesale this. Oh, I'm wholesaler. And then bam, got slapped in the face. And then I really did some research. And if you listen to 205, you'll get a little bit more details. And then Superstar Mystery Man got it all the way dwindled down to $255,000. And I was like, bro, that is epic, unbelievable. How did you do that with the walkaway close? And all those details are in that. So I'm juiced up because this deal just got closed. Congratulations, Mystery Man, for getting something for your effort.
Thank you very much. That was a long road.
Long road, like there were so many moving parts. If you can, everything that can go wrong from a deal, this one came in. So let me tell you what happened. So I'm thinking, Mystery Man brought me the deal. This is a no-brainer. $255, $100-something in equity. Oh, let me take over. So I take over at $255. Oh, I'm going to wholesale this deal. You know, we're going to get paid. I threw it out there, put it on Facebook, did all I could do to all the high-end rehabbers, even people that are owner-occupied. We had some interest. We did show it to an attorney, big money attorney. We thought, oh, that was a slam dunk, and he just didn't want it. And we almost had another investor move in and buy it. Just nothing we tried worked. So we're at desperate. Now, Mystery Man's like, what should we do next? Of course, he trusts my inability. I would say inability, but my ability. So I'm like, man, let's just find a realtor and list it. And so, listen, this episode, we're not dogging realtors, so let's just get that up front. But let me tell you something. I'm going to get the cat out of the bag. Everybody got paid way more than the Mystery Man, okay? So we'll leave that for your interpretation. Would you be juiced up and excited towards realtors that they didn't spend any money on marketing? I don't even think they got the keys at the lockbox. I don't even think they put a lockbox on that deal. They made more money. They made more money. I'm going to say it one more time. They made more money. Wow.
Yes.
Let me hit you with the wow. But Shanae's saying you can't say that to our children no more. I can't say wow. Okay, so I get to say it on a radio show. Oh, you dropped the dish? Wow. Okay. So, we're thinking we're superstars. And I'm going to just throw out all the things that did not go well. And then Mystery Man's going to fill us in the details. Number one, the buyer's agents. Okay. First of all, we contacted a realtor that we're friends with, and, everything seemed to be fine and to a certain degree. She listed it. Everything was great. We got a lot of licky-loos, but we had some issues with the seller where it was kind of dirty. Not dirty per se, but there was a lot of boxes, and that became a 21-day drama of showing the property with a bunch of boxes and a curio cabinet and extreme expensive high-end furnishings. So that was one problem. Well, did we burn through somebody? Did someone make an offer during that process?
The attorney was the one that was dragging his feet. He looked at it a couple of times, and
we thought we had it sold.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. He's an attorney. Every attorney's wealthy, just like every landlord's a millionaire. Every attorney's a millionaire.
Yeah, wasted some time, brought an inspector out there to look at it.
And then just didn't have the kahunas to get it done. Right. So forget that guy. So anyway, we finally, we got this thing rolling. It's a couple weeks. We're getting a lot of interest. As soon as we hit the MLS, we got some showings going. Everything's going well. Then, and we're going to name this buyer's agent realtor the Show Me Realtor. Show me the money. Show me everything. Now, we were very clear in the listing that was listed in the MLS that this is a what? Say it, Mystery.
As is.
As is. What does as is mean?
You take it as it is.
Where is that? That means no concessions. We priced it for $279.
Yes.
We priced it for $279. We weren't trying to be too greedy, but we were willing to negotiate to a certain degree. And so it was priced with $105,000 of equity. Maybe you need $10,000 to G it up. I mean, I'm talking about $30,000 and you've got a brand new crib. Yeah. I mean, so whoever got this was a smoking deal. This is one of those deals where I wish I needed a home at the time because I would have just slid on in. But this went wrong right out the gate, that the Show Me Realtor turned this into a retail transaction and pumped the seller so hard and heavy on asking, I think the Show Me Realtor came out of nowhere and said, I'm going to break a record and ask for everything since it's such a good deal. I mean, there was a time where Show Me Realtor was asking for things that are not even common in a retail transaction.
Absolutely.
And she kept saying, now these were out-of-state buyers from California with big pockets, seeing an opportunity. They saw the property, and then it turned into disaster. So Show Me Realtor did number one cardinal sin. She switched the closing location.
Yes.
The title work was done. Wholesalers, I know you're clapping your hands right now because everything that could go wrong went effing wrong. How do you change the title? I mean, it's ready to close tomorrow. Show Me Realtor said, I get a discount. And Mystery Man came out of nowhere because I was I normally would have just slapped somebody on that one. Look, we can close tomorrow. And Show Me Realtor, her motive was for herself, for real, because she was like, I get a discount at this place. Well, we'll pay you for the discount, keep it here to close it. My buyers have cash. Mystery Man came out. That was a good negotiating tactic. You said, I'll pay the difference.
Yeah, plus some, maybe probably a little extra.
Hey, we'll even pay closing with how much do we gain here? It was $255 under contract. We're trying to sell it for $280. What's that math come out to? 35? Right.
25.
25,000. So we're gonna we had grander visions of 60. $25,000 assignment minus some realtor fees. 10,000, whatever. So that was the first thing that went wrong right out the gate. The second thing, when this lady, the Show Me Realtor, was coming back with all these concessions, I think she missed the remarks in the MLS that this is as effing is. The interesting thing was, I don't know any buyer of real estate. How old were they?
They were in their 20s, late 20s, 28, 29.
Okay, I'm 43, and I'm cursing and I'm bleeping it out myself. The stuff that they were asking for, I have never even thought of myself.
Yeah,
what other things were they asking for, Mr. Mystery Man? Tell me some things well, first of all, how many inspections did these individuals request?
Oh, gosh. They had a termite inspection, which is semi-standard here in Oklahoma. They had a structural engineer that came out and then even inspected the rafters in the attic.
So 2.5, because I don't know anybody that does that.
Yep. They had the vents inspected. They had the lines into the house inspected. They had
4.
The A coils and the plenums and all that inspected.
AC 5. Number 5 was the big kicker, was the AC and the plenum.
Yep.
Now I bought my house. I didn't do all that jazz, and I bought mine.
Have.
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed when I was working on this deal and Mystery Man was bringing it to me on occasion, because this is actually Mystery Man's deal. I was just kind of along with a ride, just to consult and assist. I was like, wow, these are pretty savvy buyers from California. You know, they got all this money. I guess they're going to spend all this inspections. And I was like, cool. In my mind, I was like, spend the money. Drop the I mean, how many? I mean, they must have spent, each trade had to be $300.
Yeah, at least. And one of them they were really waffling on, and it was a big point because it was about $600 on one that they were going to do.
So they spent probably a couple $1,000s. I mean, they were committed. Hey, this is a deal, $100,000, no big deal. The house was livable. The lady, the seller that lived in the home had no problems. And when we did our thorough inspection, we took over several hundred photos. We inspected the property several times. I mean, we're talking minor stuff. Now, here's the interesting thing. Let's talk about this termite. Now, the seller, which was an elderly lady, spent X amount of money every year for Johnny Termite Checker-Wecker to drive out there and look at, and he said there was no termites.
Correct, no active termites, and he'd been inspecting the property for
15,
years.
20 years. I mean, 15 years. We have 15 years of receipts, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the effing world. And their inspector, guess what?
Said there were live termites, and it was about $2,500 to get it resolved.
You know, I love that because I remember you brought that to me, and I was like, oh, okay. Let me help you out, Mystery Man. Let me solve this. Call the company, and you did. I was so proud of you. You called the termite guy that said it had no termites. And then we had the documentation from the other termite inspector that said that there's termites. I'm like, this is great. This is a podcast in itself. I said, who's going to pay for this? Because someone's going to be on Channel 4.
Exactly.
In your corner, someone's lying, and we're going to find out who that is, and someone's going to pay. So who's it going to be? Is it going to be the guy that we've been paying 15 years for because we're on the seller side? Or is it Lying Sally Termite Guy? So that was our first hurdle of death. And so, of course, we had potential $25,000 on the table. What is our first thing we did? We bow down, even though the house is what?
As is.
As is. So we said, okay, you know, we don't got time. Let's close this thing. We're in the middle of December. It's Christmas. You know, we want to bless people. Let's just get paid. We'll pay for the $2,200. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our friendly Show Me Realtor and our listing realtor were slated to make a big 6%. If you want to run the math real fast, that is 15 G's. That's $7,500 for Show Me Realtor and $7,500 for I Got Lucky Realtor with a great friend who gave me the listing guy. Hey, that's me. $7,500 for you. $7,500 for Show Me Realtor, who created this whole disaster without even in making herself look good because she was on the buyer side.
And getting paid more because she was going to her place to get more discounts and concessions.
Yes, and the cool thing, and I'm confessing, I was like, when I buy a house, I'm going to have this girl work for me, for real. Like, I was like, that was my first time 3 weeks ago, until we got into inspection number 2.
Yeah.
Wow, so we made it through the termite drama. Now, you know, I can't wait for the wholesalers to listen to this because they're just going to laugh and, Van Callenberg, you think you a wholesaler? You know, no. Mystery Man, this is like his first deal. This is maybe my 15th or 20th wholesale. I'm thinking I know. No, because another cat came out of the bag. And what was that one, Mr. Mystery Man?
Well, we also had mold that was in a closet that came out of nowhere. I didn't see this coming. Never
black mold. Was it black mold? Did the word black come out?
Of course it was black mold.
Black is the new white or the new gray.
Yeah, it was just terrible, and it was huge. You know, it's about the size of a dinner plate in a closet, but, you know, it was...
And so we need another engineer to figure out why there's moisture in a closet. So what happened with that one?
Well, had somebody come out, and it was, quote, Show Me Realtor, this is unlivable. The buyers can't live in a place that's, you know, a health hazard such as this. And So the individual came out and gave his quote and said for the sheetrock work and everything, they could get it done, and it would be about $500 to get that sheetrock work done in one little spot and one little closet.
Wow, they should hire me. Anyway, so check this out, ladies and gentlemen. This is where I start getting a little frustrated, because this is where I have to get with the listing realtor. Hey, we're friends, this is a cool deal, but this is getting a little out of hand. This is number 2 inspection, and all of a sudden we're nickel and diming over some mold. Now, I get mold, Now, I'm assuming on the seller side, why would they walk away with thousands of dollars of inspections coming down to a $500 deal? And I was like, we might need to send a formal letter to the seller, the buyer, show me realtor, what this is all about. And what is this all about? What do we do as wholesalers? It's called as is. And F you, and we're done messing with you. This is an as-is deal you're making. When you got to see these letters. If you ever in Oklahoma City and you want hey man, what happened to this super duper deal? Let me show you these letters, because these are amazing. We said very clearly, you're making $100-something thousand. Show me realtor said, I'm the coolest realtor in the world, and I did a lot of research on this realtor, because I was actually distraught that this was going down, that this is an as-is deal, very clear. And then we had to clarify this extensively in the one email. But hey, we how do we resolve the $500? Did we take that up the tail?
Well, the show me realtor, she was actually gracious enough to say that she would actually take this on to save the deal, because she wanted to save this, because that's just the kind of person she is.
Yeah.
And don't expect to see this at closing as a claim for her to get paid, because this is just kind of her gift to us.
Yeah,
I love $500.
I love that. Yeah, you're making $7,500, and you're making our world upside down. And not only that, you've cost so much money at the first closing company. Imagine the work and labor that they did to get the abstract up, and then we had to come over there and bite our tongue and say, I am so sorry, and we had to move it. That's just there alone. Oh, but hey, that's inspection number 2. Let's get to number 3. What's the next one?
The big one here was when they did the scope of the HVAC system, yes.
The world is going to end with several bombs in society. So this is a $385,000 house. I understand and get inspections, but now we're all going to die because of something's wrong with the ductwork.
There's sand in it.
Sand. Okay. So, man. Okay. So we're going to die with sand in our ducts.
Contagious. Yes.
Wow. So now this is interesting, Mystery Man, because you've actually physically dealt with this issue before, correct? In your own home, in your own personal residence. Because
yes.
To be honest with you guys, I've never even knew. I opened up my vents and I see sand, I see rust. I'm like, okay, this is just life. My children seem functional. Everything seems fine. Clean out your ducts. So, but this turned out to be we're talking to the tune of $5,549 and some change, correct?
That was the first. And then they were...
That was the first. So the guy that inspected, obviously, why not give it? If you inspect stuff, you might as well give a remedy, and it costs just a few dollars. So that was the first. Then the guy that did the inspection, why he was there. Hey, I'm here. I might as well just give you a quote. So that was our first one.
Correct. That was their. That was the inspector that came out and gave his quote for it. So now they call somebody to actually get a bid. Another person. To do the job. So what it actually costs to get the work done. Mm-hmm. And that comes back about $8,000, about $8,100.
So, okay, so we're on inspection number 3. $5,500 was just the quote, but then we got the dagger. We got the sellers. I'm going to get that right. The buyers from California, don't know anyone, but Show Me Realtor all of a sudden has a bag of tricks and a bunch of freaking friends buying an as-is home, and they said that to repair it is $8,000. So now we had to pump the brakes. So Mystery Man and I, we're like cruising around looking for deals, letting people know what we do, driving around, and I get this message. I was like, oh no, where's the baseball bat? We're shutting this deal down. So we try to pull our own inspection. So we called a friend who has done some work for us. And what did he say?
He said that it is.
It's what it is.
It is. Forwarded him the email that I got that had pictures of the scoping and everything that was in there. And just from what he even saw with that going out there and pulling the A coils, and look, he said it's in bad shape, and if I can get away with the $5,500 or the $8,000,
go with it.
Split that or something, and take it and run.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that the 5,000 bid sounds like a good deal. Run with that. We're like, what? So okay, we'll run to the hills. So here we are now. We switched title companies, 3 inspections. Now the deal hinges on some ductwork.
Yeah, and a kicker to this is because the house is so large, they have 2 units. So you've got twice the units, twice the plenums, twice the equals, right?
Mm-hmm. So how do we solve that problem? During the back and forth, this where it gets real crazy. So this took about a week of drama trying to negotiate this, because now we're like, look, this is becoming a game. This is my side. Now, Mystery Man's on the front grounds getting machine guns, and I'm in the back riding his bag like a donkey. I'm like, dude, shut this down now. This ain't gonna work. Like, there's something going on here. I've never been in a deal that has been this heavy. We're paying for termites. We're paying for Show Me's paying for the huge black mold drama of $500. Yeah, whatever. And now we're dealing with heat and air ducts. So how do we solve that problem?
Well, first they threatened a resend letter with that. And so without a response for about 36 hours on that.
Did we not respond for 36 hours?
No.
Because I was like, I think we were pissed.
Yeah.
We were like, F you.
And then so they came back and said, well, we want to save the deal. Well, okay.
So lesson number 1, wholesalers, sometimes just say no and not respond.
Exactly. So then they came back and said they would consider splitting the cost of the work with it.
Well, let me paint you a picture. Our seller is a senior citizen that moved out of her home. She had all the finances in the world. She was a very wealthy individual, moved into a high-end assisted living, and she was breathing down the neck like she was probably, sending flowers, writing cards, bringing candy, jumping over hula hoops is just an understatement of the conversations of the hours of time invested, because our contract technically busted on the first of the month, and every day from the first, and we just closed this. What was it? The 19th?
Yes.
No. It was Friday. So what's today? What date is that? The 18th? I don't know. Let me look it up. Okay, hold on, folks. So from the 1st to the 16th, so for 2 weeks straight, every day we calmed this lady down to the degree of we need to make her interest payment, to the degree that we were going to lose the deal. But during all that drama, the new cool title company tried to throw us under the bus. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is why you want to be a wholesaler. They try to kill us. They try to get us out of they try to work around our contract. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you to all my friends, Luke Ward, Sean McVicker, and Thomas Morgan, for teaching me how to do an affidavit. Because we put that mother on an affidavit and they could not, we locked up the deal. We put it clouded title and they tried to work around us. We got all kinds of threats. Well, you don't have a contract. It's expired. You're not the power of attorney. We're running out of time here, but we can go on. If you want to know more about it, let us know, because we can get all dirty and let you know how many times that we were connived at, lied to, misinformed. We became the slaves of getting the keys, unlocking the door, meeting people, getting random documents signed. What was one of those random documents, Mystery Man? Statement of something?
Yeah, and I had to do that.
What is it called? Statement of, tell ladies and gentlemen, what's a state? You had a statement of acknowledgement that we were interested, that we had it. They wanted us to release our affidavit, and we said, F you sideways. No, we're not walking. And this is the title company. This is why you want to build a relationship with the title company and not switch a title company. And anyway, I don't want to get into that because there's an episode I cover title companies. So then what? So now we're getting down to the wire. Okay. So then our listing realtor, she's a very busy individual, and I got respect for this individual, but I don't think that she thought this was a slam dunk. And I sold it to her as a slam dunk because it is. It's a $385,000 house. We're selling it for $279,000. Hey, we'll work, we got it under contract. We got room to negotiate. Hey, take a back seat. We'll do a lot of the front end. Well, that didn't work out that way. So our listing realtor got a little frustrated with us because she was in the middle of massive negotiations with this show me realtor who, I don't know how many listings this individual has. I don't know how many houses that she sold in her career, but she knew exactly. She read a lot of good books on how to crush a deal.
For sure.
And so we are getting at wits with our listing realtor, and she's getting frustrated with us because we're not bowing down anymore. And so she had to, this was a cluster of drama. So we're excited. We finally got this whole time from December 1st, when our contract initially busted, all the way down to the 16th, we never had a closing date. Why? Because we were not the mystery man team. We were in the mystery because it moved to a new title. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, the other title company that we had wasn't real friendly at releasing the abstract. So that took a few 5 days of cookies and driving over there and a little back rub just to get, and a little wink to say, can you do us a solid? So that, guys, I'm telling you, we can take this to a 3-hour episode, but we're just going to get it down. So we're getting near to the goal line. The mystery man's looking at me furious. His $25,000 I thought that he was going to get gets down to, now we're getting the title company, the call that we get on the week of the 16th. You guys don't even have a contract. Wow. Somebody from the title company called us up and said, you guys don't even have a contract. And we had to get real, not physical, in our minds, lyrical gymnasts. And we said, hey, we have an affidavit. We're not moving. So what we need to understand where your money's coming from and how we're going to pay you. Well, we'll be very clear with that. You write the HUD at this number. We had to walk through all the finances. Who's going to get paid what? And then we had to sign off on this, some random document called the Statement of an Acknowledgement. Mm-hmm. So we're doing the math. $279 minus, we'll add the fee, 6%. It all dwindled down to Mr. Man was going to make about $7,500. Now, our $25,000 potential dwindled down to $7,000. Dude, $7,500, that sounds cool. You definitely earned it, bro. You died on the cross. At least, you're so seasoned now. It's amazing. So we signed this document. We know these numbers. Yep. So I'm like, hey man, I'm going to Buffalo. See you later. Good luck. This is like, I wish I could be there with you to close, because I just want to see what show me the realtor look like. Because and I noticed that you don't call me and say we're closed. I don't see no jovial high fives. Like, I don't see no Facebook posts anywhere. Well, because there's no Facebook of Mystery Man. And I'm like, dude, what's up with this guy? Doesn't tell me he closes. 4 hours later, I'm like, did it close? He's like, yeah, closed. I'm like, congratulations, And so the following Monday, yo, man, did it close? Yeah, it closed. Dude, what was the paycheck? $2,400 and what was the pay?
95.
So okay. Let me get this straight. This is pause. A $385,000 deal that we got locked up for $255,000. We had to throw down to the realtor. The realtors, they made $7,500, except for the show me realtor minus her $7,500. She coughed up $500 or $400 and something dollars for some mold that was BS.
Yep.
She made 3 times what you made. The listing realtor friend, she did her job. No mad skills towards our listing realtor. If you hire a realtor, they should get paid. They got fees. They got errors and omissions. They have gas in their vehicle.
Sure.
That listing realtor made $7,500. Mr. Man, explain to our friends in this world why you only made $2,495.
There was the property taxes that were outstanding on this $385,000 house.
And they didn't want to take that off of the $255,000 like a normal transaction?
No, she did not.
Was it the seller that balked at that? Or did the title company not put that on there?
She was...
I should have been there.
Yeah, she was due to make $255,000 from the original contract that was signed.
Did it? But I gave you that contract, and on clause 13 says taxes need to be paid by the seller.
Yep, and we went over that.
And what would they say
prior to? But we didn't go over that at closing.
Oh, of course not. Because I think I told the listing realtor very clearly. She's like, "Where'd you get this contract? I wrote this contract, but this clause 13 is based from Oklahoma State contract. Google it up. Oklahoma State real estate contract. Vellum taxes are paid by the seller. So no one advocated for you. Is that what you're telling me? Are you seriously telling me that? So I dissed you. I'm in Buffalo trying to be cool. I should have been at the closing because I would have went off.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't you.
But I'm just saying reality, because you probably didn't know. You were so beat up and broken that you were like scared, probably shaking.
Hey, the dang thing's done.
So you lost $2,000 on some taxes.
4,000.
Oh, 4,000, because you were going to net 6,500 or 7. Oh, okay. Oh, we're missing. So you paid and no, Miss Show Me Realtor said, "Let me help out." No, nobody came to your rescue.
And $1,000 for closing.
Oh, and you paid all closing costs too.
Yeah.
That was at a discount that we've already negotiated on the. Wow, ladies and gentlemen.
And we came off of their listing price to begin with too. That we left out $5,000.
Oh, we lowered that. We lowered it. Okay. Well, guys, that does not. You can tell in my voice that I am not happy with this transaction. I am happy that, we can say we learned something. We sure did. We learned. I don't know how to. I mean, I'm raging inside because we did all the work.
We worked a lot. Made
and no one sees it. No one sees it. That I calculated over $3,000 something that we have invested into that with direct mail, phone, internet, and we lost money. But hey, we got an education. Yeah, it sounds cool, ladies and gentlemen. It was the big $2,495 prize person, and we're happy, man. We're blessed to have $2,000. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the greatest about this deal that it closed.
For sure.
Because I gave up back at $300,000. And every time you called me on this and I'm beating you up and you're trying to beat up the other person, it was just priceless of pain. But this is the things that we learned. Wholesalers, friends and family, sorry realtors if you got stung out there. Listen, there's a lot of work and we respect you realtors. I know that you earned your $7,500, but I just want you to understand that what we went through on our side, we took all the risk. We did all the front end. And at the end of the day, it all boils down to this. Lock up the contract. We almost lost the whole deal if we didn't do an affidavit.
Yeah, we would have.
I mean, because the crazy thing is that to my mind, we had our listing realtor was busy, get it. But the Show Me Realtor and her title company, so in my world, their whole office and her were against us. And we didn't lose that deal because we locked it up. That was good. That's what we learned. Now, number 2 thing that we learned through this process, as we've heard just recently, we got a lot out of it. That we should have negotiated a certain number that we should have netted.
Right.
Like, basically, when you don't ever do a net contract, and that's how this played out. I have to net this much. I've bought a couple houses that way from successful real estate investors. I don't care what it costs, but I want to net $25,000 or I want to net. In this scenario, the contract was very clear. It did not say net, and it said pay the taxes by the seller. Now the seller, we dragged it on for over 2-something weeks on her, and you got this contract back in October, November, right? So this was almost over 2 months. And, we probably could, as Thomas Morgan would have said to me and blasted me, you should have went back and renegotiated with the seller. I'm sorry, but we were at wit's end. And so maybe we should have, things that we could have learned were negotiate with the realtors on the front end, both of them, and said, hey, we know that you're about to make 6%. Hey, let's just all be equal here. Let's all just split all the profit.
Yeah.
I think it would have closed a lot faster if we would have negotiated with the realtors on the front end and said, listen, there's a $25,000 purse here. You get 7, I get 7, the other 7, and 4,000 in concessions, and we're all win, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee that a lot of the seller would have paid those taxes.
Yeah.
But it was, I'm not going to say 2 against 1, but it's what it looked like.
And maybe somebody wouldn't have been pushing so many inspections.
Yeah, totally. Or they would have just again, we can analyze this to death. And I would love for you, ladies and gentlemen, even for realtor, if you hate me, that's cool. It's all good. Let us know what you think. Are we off? Are we wrong on this situation? Are we just emotional? And I actually called another realtor, and I was like, I'm another friend of mine, another investor. I'm like, dude, this is what happened to me. These are the things that happened to me. And he calmed me down. I mean, things just happen. But if you got some not encouragement, if you know something that we missed on that transaction, let us know. We want to be better.
Absolutely.
So what'd you learn, Mystery Man?
Like I said, lock it up and negotiate on the back end with the realtors. I like that. I hadn't thought of that. That's probably my good takeaway from learning on this.
The cool thing is we could have just said, hey, let's have a meeting together. Like we could have just strategically said, hey, we're going to do a showing at 2:00. I mean, after we got the first termite drama. That's where we should have hit it on the front end, because the termites led into the mold, led into the ductwork, led into the taxes. Mm-hmm. See, all that, if you would have just snuffed that on the front end, just like when you're disciplining a child, you got to be tough on the front end. Life's going to be easier later. You can't come back on someone, words that come in your mouth, you can't put them back in. Right. So if we would have set the tone back then, and maybe we were greedy, maybe we were like trying to be stealth about it, I don't know, but that's where I think where it went wrong. All 3 of us were on a different page somewhere a long time. There's a couple times we were on the page with our listing realtor, and I believe that she'd fought as hard as she could at times that she could, but there's a lot of times maybe we should have just balked at them a while back. But man, they got a smoking deal.
Oh, they got a brand new house. They got a great deal on it.
You know what we should do? Hey, if you want us to do this, what if we, in a month or 2, let's just say in the spring, we knock on their door and say, hey, can we interview you? Because you're the greatest owner-occupied homeowners in the world. You got the deal of a lifetime.
There we go.
And, they benefited. They're the ones that win. They got a smoking deal. Their taxes just went down in price. The whole neighborhood just got stabbed. Everybody won but us. Welcome to the Savvy Radio Show, where we give money out.
Oklahoma loves you.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a good time. Mr. Man, I'm so honored to be alongside of you. Thanks for asking me for my advice, because it didn't work as well. I really thought you were going to make 20 G's, and you made 10% of the 20, but hey, it's all good. If you like this episode or you don't, leave us a message. You go to SavvyRadioshow.com, click the voicemail button, it goes right to me, and let me know what you think. Other than that, you could text me, Facebook. We got great episodes coming up and old episodes. If you want to know more about this background, go to 205 episode and listen to it, and you'll get the full story. Thanks for listening. My name is Stephen Van Kallenberg, and this is my sidekick, the Mystery Man.
Merry holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at SavvyRadioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook, and always be buying assets.